South Korean military says North Korea has fired at least 10 missiles, one ballistic weapon flying across their maritime border for the first time. Air raid sirens sounded on a remote island controlled by Seoul off the peninsula's eastern coast. The latest launch came as Pyongyang called for an end to current South Korean and US Air Force drills. Speaking at a news conference, the Japanese defense minister condemned the launch.
These actions by North Korea threaten the peace and stability of Japan, the region, as well as the international community, and are utterly unacceptable. They violate United Nations Security Council resolution. We strongly condemn North Korea and have made a solemn protest against these actions via diplomatic channels in Beijing.
Live to Seoul now then to speak to our correspondent Jean McKenzie. Jean, what is the latest?
Well, it's really this one missile out of the 10 that we're focusing on. It's this missile that was fired towards South Korean waters that landed in international waters, but off the South Korean coast, less than 40 miles, 60 kilometers from the South Korean coast, in between it and a small remote island off the east coast. And this is the first time that the North Koreans have ever fired a missile in this direction. Normally they fire them more out to sea. So it is an unprecedented move, and it is certainly being seen as more serious than some of the other launches that we've seen recently, more of a direct threat to South Korea. I mean, the fact that you had residents on this small island this morning receiving these air raid warnings and having to seek shelter shows that it sort of more directly affected the South Korea territory.
And tell us why this has happened, do we think, today?
Well, North Korea has blamed South Korea and the United States for a series of military exercises that they have been holding. Now, these military exercises have been going on for the last 3 months. The South Korea and the United States say they're holding these military exercises because what they see as an increased threat posed by North Korea. They see that these exercises are routine and that they're defensive. But Kim Jong-un doesn't see them this way. He thinks that they're incredibly provocative. He sees them as proof that his enemies are preparing to invade, and therefore responds. There is also timing here as well, which, many here are saying that this is insensitive timing because, of course, South Korea is still in a period of national mourning at the moment following this weekend, that terrible crowd crush that we saw that killed 150 young people here in Seoul.
And reaction from South Korea to this, has there been any yet?
Yeah, South Korea this morning is angry. The military have called this launch intolerable. South Korea's president has gone even further and called it a territorial invasion, although, of course, the missile did land in international waters, not South Korean waters. So really this is a sort of strong rhetoric from a president who has promised to take a hard line on North Korea. But the North Koreans, have said in recent days, they issued a warning to South Korea saying that South Korea would pay the most horrible price in history if these military exercises continued. Now, that is being seen as a veiled threat that it would use nuclear weapons against South Korea.
All right. Beautiful. Yapa. Hey, Shalom. Kohaloyam Wahawa La Yahawah Bahasimi Hawashai Bahashem Rakaha Kodash. Double honors are going out to the venerable apostles of the great millstone, along with the elders and bishops who rule well through the spirit. Salutations, peace and blessings be unto the Bayaf the Wadah, that is the house of David the elect. So yeah, man, this is one of Babylon the Great's, okay, aka America's adversaries, okay, one of her enemies, okay, provoking her big time by firing missiles, okay, toward South Korea, which is currently allied with the whore, okay, but that's not going to last for long. But this is an escalation in the Pacific theater, okay, out there in the so-called Far East, all right, and this third World War, okay, which is coming quickly pursuant to Revelation 11 and 14, is going to be global in scale, now it's going to start, they're already fighting. I mean, they've been fighting in Syria, okay, there's been fighting in the so-called Middle East off and on, okay, and there's going to be a lot of regional skirmishes, if you will, in the beginning of this war. Which also a part of this war is these racial conflicts that are coming to America. Okay, the race riots that are coming. That's part of World War III too. But all you hear about lately, okay, are these nations, all right, talking about missiles, man. Okay, and South Korea, or it's like, yeah. North Korea is not a huge, obviously a huge player in this Third World War, but they will fire missiles, man, and their missiles will hit their targets. Okay, this is an example. North Korea is an example of the weak saying they're strong, man. Okay, because North Korea is a nothing country, man. This is a very small, population, but they got nukes, man. And the Most High going to put a spirit, Yahweh Shamar Ahmath going to put a spirit on Kim Jong-un, along with the rest of these world leaders, okay, to launch these things soon, man. Pretty soon, missiles are going to be flying, man, all over this planet, okay? And ultimately, the ultimate destruction is coming to America. But this Third World War is going to cause this earth to reel to and fro as a drunkard, man. Okay? That's in the scriptures. All right, so hold on. So basically, this is really impromptu. So since I mentioned a scripture about the weak saying they're strong. Let me get that real quick. That's Joel's 3rd chapter. Yeah, man. Just 15, 20 years ago, you never would have thought, a country like North Korea would be, taunting, okay, America, man. Talking shit. But Kim Jong-un is steadily talking shit to America, man. All right? That leader from the Philippines, too. What is his name? Duterte? Or Duarte? I think it's Duterte. Anyways, he's been real critical of the U.S. Everybody's talking shit about America, man. I'm going to get right to the point. Joel's chapter 3. And I'll start in verse 9. All right, it says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, okay, the natural Gentiles, okay, because in the scriptures, you got vocab Malone, listen up, you and your Christian cohorts, listen up, you got two sets of two sets of Gentiles in the Bible. You got the natural Gentiles, the nations, all right, the 17 nations of people on the earth outside of Yashar Allah, okay, outside of the 12 tribes. You got 17 nations of people. Those are the natural Gentiles. And then you got Israelites living like Gentiles. Okay, those are the Gentiles that, for example, that the Apostle Paul wrote to. Okay, in the New Testament. Those are the Gentiles that can receive salvation. All right. Anyways, Joel's 3rd chapter and the 9th verse. And it reads, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war. And that's what these countries are doing, man. They're getting their armies ready. They're getting their air forces ready. They're getting their navies ready, okay, for war, man. And ultimately, again, all the nations of the earth, even South Korea, okay, are going to turn, okay, because again, South Korea is currently an ally to the horde, America. But ultimately, all these nations are going to turn their sights on America. And whatever weaponry they have, whatever missiles they have, they're going to shoot at her, okay? It says, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Okay, that's, a metaphor for, or symbolic language, if you will, for, stop investing in your agriculture, okay, and put all your money into your military. And that's what these countries are doing. They're not investing in any other sector of their economy. They're investing in their military capabilities, man. They're upgrading their military technology, okay? They're beating their plowshares and the swords and their pruning hooks and the spears. All right, it says, let the weak, this is the point, let the weak say, I'm strong. That's what Kim Jong-un, for example, is saying by lobbing these missiles over towards South Korea, man, okay? He's saying, hey, I'm strong now. I got missiles too, okay? And he does. And he's got nuclear missiles, same as Iran, okay? They was once a weak nation, but they strong now. Okay, and, you know, just most people over here in America, you know, you're so dumbed down because of your media. Okay, your mainstream media portrays all these countries as backwards. Man, Iran's gonna take a big chunk of y'all's ass, man. Okay, but you know, you got Pakistan with nuclear capabilities. Okay, you got the Philippines, North Korea. These once weaker nations are rising up now, saying we're strong too. Okay, and ultimately, these are the Lord's weapons, man. All right. This is Jeremiah chapter 50 and verse 25. The Lord Yahweh hath opened his armory and hath brought forth the weapons of his indignation. Now you look that word indignation up, and that goes back to, or that goes to righteous anger. To be indignant is to be righteously angry. Okay, it's a righteous anger, and the Lord's anger towards this place is righteous, man. Okay, because Esau, Edom, beginning with the Amalekites, the small hats, Zechariah 9 and 6ers, all right, have touched the apple of the Most High Power's eye, man. All right, being you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. All right, you Israelites. All right, as well as you Israelite foreigners, man. Okay, you are the Lord's chosen people, so the Lord is indignant, man. Okay, it says, for this is the work of the Lord Yahweh power of hosts in the land of the Chaldeans. Right, the modern day Chaldeans, all right, are these Amalekites, man. All right, the Dukes of Edom. Okay. Isaiah chapter 54 and verse 16, it reads, behold, I have created a smith that bloweth the coals in the fire. All right, these are the nuclear scientists, man. Okay, that work in these nuclear reactors. All right, it says, and that bringeth forth like an instrument for his work. That's right. These are instruments. Okay, for what? For his work. What is his work? He's going to destroy America, man. Ultimately. Okay, I mean, completely and totally destroy America. All right, with these weapons of his indignation. But he's also gonna, you know, the so-called Israeli state's gonna be burned with fire. Okay, and other parts of the earth are going to be burned with fire. Okay, but you know, because you got some Christians out here thinking that you know, the world's going to blow up and the Lord is going to make a completely new heaven and earth. No, man, the Lord is going to refresh this heaven. Well, he's going to bring about a new heaven, a new rulership. Okay, and he's going to refresh this earth, man. The scripture says the earth abideth forever. Earth is not going to be blown up. Okay, but certain parts of this earth are going to burn for a season. All right, it says that bringeth forth an instrument for his work, and I have created the waster to destroy. That's right, man. He created the waster to destroy. All right, let's see. I thought I had another preset. Let's see. I do, so thought I had to pull it up, but I'll look it up real quick. Ultimately, this is because ultimately, like I said, this is the Lord's work, man. He's the one behind this third world war, man. All right. This is Isaiah chapter 13 and verse 4. The noise of a multitude in the mountains, like as of a great people, a tumultuous noise of kingdoms of nations gathered together. The Lord Yahweh of hosts mustereth the host of the battle. That's right. The Lord is mustering the host of the battle. Now, if you look up this word muster. Okay. All right, if you look up this word for muster, okay, it's a verb meaning properly to collect troops for review, parade, and exercise. So the Lord is collecting up. He's going to collect up all these troops from all these different nations and do what? Assemble them, ultimately assemble them in the valley of decision, the valley of Yahweh Shaphat, the valley of the Lord's judgment, all right? And do what then? And judge them, man. Destroy them, okay? Yeah, man, it says, but in general, to collect or assemble troops, persons or things. So the Lord is the one who is doing all this, man. The Lord is the one making all these leaders, okay, roused up, okay. He's the one putting the spirit on these kings, okay, and presidents, all right, and premiers, okay, etc., okay, to get ready for this war, man, okay. So this is what's coming, all right. This is what's coming, and we're steady watching the news, and filtering these reports through the scriptures, okay, through the prophecies, and reporting back to the Lamsey how bust me outside, so that you can know, that the time is near, and you do if you're listening and learning. You know that we're at the end. All right. So, anyways, Lord willing, I don't want to rock this out. You was edified by this brief lesson, by this brief report, and with that, I want to say shalom.